Going on, everybody? We got the Tello Talk Podcast, new episode. Today we got a special member on just for a little bit. Someone that is a big name here on campus at University of Idaho, and I'm gonna have him come on just in a second. I'd like everybody to welcome Coach Eck. Let's see if he gets in here. How's it going, Coach?
Good, Bryce. How we doing, man?
I'm doing great. Glad to have you on here. I really appreciated how quick you were answering me, and I'm glad we can get a little question interviews, going on. So
No problem. Any way I can help, man.
oh yeah. Well, I just let everybody know, Coach, you're a big name on campus, head coach at University of Idaho. Loving the new team this year so far. Got some dogs on the team, got some competitors. I love seeing a lot of heart and a lot of fight in a lot of guys.
I think the guys have done a good job thus far, and we're really excited to get into conference play now.
Oh yeah, that's where it matters a lot. Conference play matters a lot, especially in the Big Sky when you got good teams in there.
No doubt. It'll be a tough challenge this week in Northern Arizona, but we're excited for the opportunity.
Oh yeah, I'm hoping to see them come back and see a big W in the column.
Appreciate that, Bryce.
Oh yeah. So I got a couple of questions. We're gonna get started with those questions. I was looking through your coaching history, and I've seen you coach for quite a bit of teams. But what makes you? I realized you coached at University of Idaho. I think it was 2005.
2004 to 6, so 3
4
seasons.
to 6. That's what it was. Yes. What makes U of I so different that made you obviously want to come back and coach again? And what makes it so different compared to other schools?
Well, I think it's a very prideful university. There's a lot of pride in the alums. There's a lot of pride in the student body. It's an excellent academic school. So I think the fans here have been hungry for a winner. They just haven't had a consistent winner in a while. And I think if we can give that to them, they're really going to rally around it and support this team. And, I do think we have a fan base that can be on par with like the Montanas and the Montana States that draw well. It's just we haven't consistently won as a program. So also like the area. I think it's a great place to live, great town, whether you're a college student going to school or you're a guy like me with a family. It's a great place to live. So there's just a lot of pluses to the area. My wife liked the area a lot. I thought we could win here. I thought the Big Sky Conference is a really good fit for Idaho. And I also think the Big Sky Conference is one of the top 2 conferences in FCS football. And, because of that, like last year, though, you got 5 teams in the playoff bracket, which, helps when you're trying to rebuild a program. You don't have to get all the way up to number 1 to make the playoffs. If you're one of the top 4 or 5 teams, you got a great shot.
It's true. Big Sky, and then I don't remember the name of the conference, but it's the one with all the Dakota teams and
the Missouri Valley. That's the other very good.
Yeah,
conference.
Missouri Valley. Yeah, because I know you coached at South Dakota State as well. Looking at it, you did a great job with like the whole O-line, offensive coordinator. In 2021 spring season, something that was really eye-opening was you guys had 7th in rushing yards and 4th in TFLs allowed, and that's something huge, especially for a run game. I'm assuming you're somewhat of an O-line guy, because you've coached O-line a lot of your career. Just got anything more about how it was back at South Dakota State? And
well, I think having a good O-line is a characteristic that a lot of championship teams have. It's really a developed position. It's not, sometimes you can recruit guys like, we recruited a guy like Anthony Woods, and he's a pretty good back right away now as a freshman.
Oh.
But you're not going to really do that with linemen, like recruit a lineman who's going to be able to come in and be your best old lineman as freshman year. So it really is a developed position. You got to do a good job coaching those guys. You got to do a good job with your strength coach, what they do in the weight room. You got to do a good job with nutrition to get them bigger and add mass. So it's really a process to build a good O-line. But the year we went to the national championship game at South Dakota State was my 5th year there. So it was my, I had those guys, the seniors I had been with ever since their freshman year, and kind of was able to help develop those guys and bring them along. And that's kind of our same plan here. We actually played 3 true freshman O-linemen in the game against Drake, which was valuable experience for those guys. And I think those guys are, they're not really good players right now, but they're going to be. And we got to keep developing them, bringing them along, and recruiting the right guys. So, I think my background will help. I hired a really good O-line coach, Cody Booth, who's a younger guy, but, has a great background as a player. He was a guy who started college as a walk-on and ended up playing 4 years in the NFL. Wow. So he really understands the development of student athletes through college. And that's definitely an emphasis in our program to develop a really good O-line in the coming years.
That starts up front. That's what I've always been told. It's always how I live. It starts up front. Yeah. And then I heard you were saying, like, you were saying the whole, like, this school hasn't had great success. I love hearing that you want to be able to be here to build that program with all the freshmen right now. Because I know we got, I believe the starting quarterback. He's a freshman too, right?
He's a redshirt freshman. He's in the second year
freshman. Yeah.
He redshirted last year.
Yeah, and then as you were saying with you guys running back. Anthony Woods is just fun to watch. You don't see very many running backs with 5.7 yards per carry. Like, just the fact that you got a young team that's already making impacts on the field. It's something, especially for me as a freshman as well, something that I'm looking forward to seeing for the next 4 football seasons, seeing this team mature and seeing this team find that way into a winning season, because I could definitely see it happening.
Yeah, those are our goals this year. We think we can be a playoff team this year. We're going to have to play very well. This is a really big game, for our playoff hopes, because both teams are 1 and 2, and you don't want to start 1 and 3 if you're planning on making the playoffs. So it's a great opportunity in front of us. We got to go seize it. It's going to be an evenly matched game. We really haven't had an evenly matched game yet, but this will be an evenly matched game, and we got to go, find a way to get a win.
Yeah, that's how it is. Because we may be 1 and 2. Idaho may be 1 and 2, but I think the 2 losses that we have taken, we kind of impressed a lot of schools. That's what I would say. Nobody really expected Idaho to go to Washington State and be ahead for over a half, and only end up losing by 7, and having to Washington State having to get a takeaway to win the game. And same with Indiana being up 10-0. A little bit of a closing the game out kind of struggle there, but still the fact that we're going out and competing with a Big Ten team, a Pac-12 team, has to show how competitive this team is and how physical this team's going to be. And are you kind of seeing it in your players after those tough losses, especially against Drake? Just their mouths just foaming for a win, and
Yeah, I think our players are believing. I think they're buying into the things we're asking of them, and I think they're seeing some results. Finally, those results led to a win. But they've been battling and competing. I think now our next step is we got to keep improving our execution, so we can execute at a high level that you have to do to beat really good teams, not just to play really good teams close, which is what we've shown so far. But those were quality losses. But we need to have some good wins down the stretch and not just hang our hats on quality losses. We got to get a conference win starting, right away. Number 1 with Northern Arizona. They're 1 and 2 as well. But they beat Sam Houston State, who was the national champion in that spring season, spring of 2001 or 21. They won the national title in FCS. And then, they played Arizona State, kind of got away from them, and then they played North Dakota out of the Missouri Valley Conference, very tough last week, and lost a close game. So they're a good football team, and it's going to be a good test.
Definitely will be a good test. And then obviously the week after that, you don't want to look too far forward, but it's a homecoming game, so you don't want to lose that one either.
No question. Well, one at a time, but I'm hoping we can play really well in this game and get a win, and that excites the fans. Our student section was awesome the other night. Was very impressed with our student section. We got to keep getting the alumni sections and the booster sections a little better though too. So hopefully us playing well and getting a conference win could lead to that.
Yeah. I'm gotta ask a question just because of my house. Did you see in the student section, you see a long line of shirtless guys that said "Go Vandals"?
I did. Were you involved in that?
That's Stated Kai right there. That's our house. Representing
Awesome.
for the Vandals.
We appreciate. We really made an emphasis of trying to get sororities and fraternities to come out on campus, just because I know those are a strong population. I have a son who's in a fraternity on campus, so we really wanted to make a push to invite them personally and just tell them how fun it's going to be here these next few years in the Dome for games.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a great time. And I mean, it's a funny story, but I've always been in love with the Kibbe Dome. Just because when I was a kid, I'd be playing like the NCAA video games and always be playing in the Kibbe Dome. It's just the look of the Kibbe Dome, the environment. Now that I'm here, I know the environment, and the environment is like no other. It's definitely going to, especially with how we're going to be behind the visitors bench every game, definitely going to affect the visitors a lot.
That was the plan behind doing it. And the Kibbe Dome has a great tradition, great national following, really. And our people, our creative video people did a nice video last week, kind of highlighting the Kibbe Dome and having different announcers talk about playing there. And it's a special place, and I think it can be a great home field advantage. And we got to keep building that crowd. I think we had about 2,000 students and about 6,000 people total at the game last week. We got to try to get that up to 4,000 students and 10,000 people here in the coming weeks, hopefully for homecoming.
Yeah. And speaking about the game from last week, strong second half. I believe it was 22 points in the second half. You guys came into the locker room. Obviously, you're still up by 6. What was it? Was there like a mental switch or like something that was said that that like kind of like got to the players and realized we got to step it up? Coaches, like the coaches, we got to keep on. We got to attack harder. And
I think we really flipped the switch in the second quarter, probably with about, somewhere between, around 10 minutes left. We'd given up a couple scores early. The first series we held them 3 and out, went down and scored. And I think sometimes when things like that happen, you might relax. You think, well, this game's going to be easy. We took them 3 and out. I think they got 1 first down. They got 1 first down. They punted. We went right down and scored. 7 plays, 58 yards. We're up 7-0, and now you relax, which you can't do in a game. And then they got the ball back with 10 minutes left, and our defense held them to a punt. Then offense went down and make sure we got this right. I think offense went down and scored a field goal. Then we kind of kept it going, turned up the heat. We got a touchdown, another field goal before half. So, really it was probably that, that second part of the second quarter, we turned it up and, made the adjustments. And then, we really ended up finishing the game out, scoring them 35-0, from that point on. So it took us a while to wake up. And, I think I had to do a better job of getting the team ready with what to expect. Those guys were fired up to play us, just like we're fired up to play Washington State and Indiana. And they kind of did the same thing to us early that we did against them, but we were able to pull out of it quicker. So credit to our boys for that.
Yeah. I mean, it takes a lot to, especially when you start slow, to finally get everybody on board and be like, you got to get going. Because I've had experience. I played football in high school down at Meridian High School. We had a lot of games where we kind of had that whole starting slow, giving up pointless yards, giving up way too many first downs, and I know that feel of like trying to get everybody on board, and it's sometimes it's very difficult. And seeing how quickly you guys flipped the switch, that was just it shows more about it shows.
We're a resilient team. We're a mentally tough team, which I like about our team. So you got to keep building off that.
Oh yeah. And also for another thing, just for like the high school, I know I got a lot of friends that play high school football still. You got any like words for them? Like what, like how different college is? Because I know a kid from Meridian, he's, I believe, currently committed to the University of Idaho, Ethan Beard. I think he might be.
Yeah, but by NCAA rule, I'm not able to publicly comment on any of our
That's
things
all good.
other than just say we are recruiting Ethan. That's all I can say. but I
Okay.
can't say anything more about him. But
Sounds good.
I think you have to be ready for the commitment. The commitment of college definitely amps up from the commitment to high school. I mean, it really is a year-round commitment. All those guys when they graduate high school, we're bringing them up here. They got here about June 12th this year, so quite a bit earlier than the normal freshmen coming 2 months later. And we're here all summer running and lifting and working with the strength coach and starting to get the plays down. And the first year, I think especially is tough on you mentally, kind of adjusting to college. We had a freshman who started for us on Saturday, Aiden Knappich. He played every play of the game for us at right tackle. And I thought he probably played better in the first half than like in the second half. And, I kind of attribute that, in high school, you play 4 12-minute quarters. Okay. College is 4 15-minute quarters. So it really is like an extra 12 minutes, it's 48 minutes versus 60. So it's like playing an extra quarter in high school.
Yeah.
So, I think for young guys, that can be quite an adjustment. You're used to the game being over right now and you still got a lot of time left. So, some good learning moments there, but, college football is an awesome experience. I do think, college football programs can really energize a whole campus when they're doing well and make the whole campus exciting to be at. And, it's a great experience. Playing college football is one of the best experiences of my life and probably a big reason I wanted to go into coaching to stay close to it, even though nothing beats actually playing.
Yeah. That's another thing I put down first, a question for you. I believe you played at Wisconsin, I would think it was.
I did.
You mind taking us back to telling us some stories from back, like not stories, but like just telling us how it was there, how it was playing?
Yeah, I played center. Coach Alvarez was the head coach who I played for there. And then a guy named Jim Huber was the O-line coach, and really was an influential, part of my life. My baseline of what I know about football, I learned there as a player. And then I ended up staying on as a graduate assistant coach and got my master's degree from Wisconsin and started coaching under Coach Alvarez. But, I think there's definitely some things I will emulate from Coach Alvarez. I called Idaho a sleeping giant. And I think I really stole that from Coach Alvarez. Coach Alvarez said that about Wisconsin when he got the Wisconsin job, because Wisconsin's program had been down and hadn't been very good in a while, but he saw the potential it had to turn it around. And that's kind of what I saw about Idaho. So, played with a lot of great players. I didn't get to probably play as much, as if I would have played at the FCS level. I was more of a career backup, but the connections I made and, a lot of guys who've helped me in my coaching career, and I'm very fortunate for. So it was a great experience. My first year coaching as a GA, we won the Rose Bowl. So we won it my senior year, and then we went back to back my first year as a grad assistant coach, and we won it. So that kind of hooked me on coaching. I said, hey, this coaching stuff's pretty easy. You go to the Rose Bowl every year. Now, unfortunately, you don't have a great year like that every year, but it hooks you in. It's very rewarding, profession to have, and I love it. But very thankful to Wisconsin just for all I learned from it when I was there.
A lot of stuff that just means a lot, sounds like to you. It's good to know all that too. Just get to know, obviously for me as well, and then people watching, good to know for all the people at Idaho, just getting to know more about our head coach. And it's great to hear your background and everything. And another big thing I've got for you is what are your like main values when you're a coach for football, and like who kind of like inspired you to have those values?
You know what? I've worked for a lot of different head coaches, and I've seen a lot of little different ways to run a program. So it's tough to pinpoint one. It's probably a combination of things I picked up from different guys along the way, and then kind of molded it together into my own philosophy. But one of the biggest values is accountability. We take a big point of taking care of your business on and off the field, and being a guy we can trust and count on. Another one that we really focus on is toughness, which is really mental toughness. And we kind of respond to that. Where we talk about that as how you respond when bad things happen, because bad things are going to happen out of your control in a game and life. And again, you control the response. And then the last two kind of go together. Urgency. We want urgency to get better, a passion to get better on a daily basis, not guys who are just kind of going through the motions and just trying to get through the day. I want someone who's truly trying to get better all the time. And then the last one is grit. which is long-term effort, effort over a long period of time towards long-term goals, and kind of unwavering, effort where you just keep coming back in the face of things. And, I think our team has shown, characteristics of all of those. I think accountability is the one we still got to keep working the most on. We had too many penalties in the game the other day. We had 10 penalties for 85 yards. So that's something we got to keep improving on. But I think we've already seen some grit out of our team and good mental toughness. And, I think we've had urgency to improve as a program. I think we have improved as a program.
Well, I would definitely say you guys have it improved. Obviously from back when they had Petrino as the head coach for quite some time too. Just as a program in general, U of I already looks so much different from the team that I was watching back when they were in the Sun Belt Conference. I've got like one more question of if I can find it. I guess I don't. You got any questions for me?
You're from Meridian High School. What position did you play in high school?
I was a safety.
Good.
Safety all 4 years in high school. Part of the bad band of the Ninja Turtles. That was our nickname.
Good program. I know they're a state championship contender this year again. So.
Oh yeah. I'm rooting for them. I love all the guys still playing there. They're my brothers, so I'm gonna root for them. Yeah, but I love their program. I love the coaches there. My favorite coach, I believe he's not coaching there this year, which is a little upsetting to hear he's no longer coaching, because it would have been nice to have all those guys experience that type of coaching.
Yeah. What do you major in? Are you major in journalism or broadcasting or?
Yeah, broadcast and digital media. Hence why I have a podcast. This is the only school that had a major like that, so it kind of intrigued me quite a bit. I was like, this is something I want to do. When I'm older, I want to be possibly on like ESPN, Sports Center, and be on or have a talk show. So seeing that they had a broadcast and digital media program here, I'm going to U of I. That's exactly when I realized I wanted to go here.
Okay, good, man. Well, good. Well, I appreciate you having me on here, Bryce, and I appreciate you covering us. And good luck here with your podcast. Okay.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate you coming on, Coach.
All right. Take care.
All right. Take care. All right. Well, that's Coach Eck for you guys. I ain't gonna lie. I was a little dumb. I'm still a little shocked that he even answered me that quickly. He answered me within like 25 minutes. Coach Eck's a great guy, I'll say. Loves this school just as much as all of us do, and I really appreciate him getting on. I know this episode isn't too long. I could say some stuff about the U of I if I want to. I don't know if I will, other than look for a better passing game, I'd say. The quarterback, McCoy, he shares the ball a lot. And obviously, as we were saying earlier, running back has 5.7 yards a carry. So teams might see that and try and stop that run more. And that will cause the passing game to open up. And if we get the blocking right and make sure quarterback doesn't feel pressure too much, receivers will be open all day of the week. And yeah, so I'm excited to see how they do versus NAU. I'm excited to see how they do for the rest of the season, obviously. And I really don't got much to say. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. It was a little shorter of an episode, but it's just a quick little short interview. Once again, I appreciate Coach Eck for coming on and coming in just answering my questions, having a talk with me. And yeah, so I've got another episode coming out probably the same day this one comes out. I might be dropping 2 in one day, maybe not. NFL podcasts with my friend Cameron, who was on the college football one and on the first one. So get ready to tune in for that. And other than that, just make sure to tune in again. I appreciate everybody for listening, and See y'all later. Tello Talk out.